everyone, today I'm going to draw this mechanical assembly that was in one of the NSS exams. So first of all, I'm going to start by using the tracing method. I've got my piece of tracing paper here and we have to draw a full section front view on section AA. So there is our section AA, so it will slice all the way through right in the middle of our drawing. When I use the tracing method, I'm going to section it from the start so that I have a better idea of what I will see. Then I have to draw a right view as well. I'm going to start with my biggest part, which is part number 1. And I'm just going to place my tracing method of my tracing paper on, and I'm going to start with the hole first. Then I'm going to do the outside. Here's another hole. Okay, so there is my part 1. Then what attaches to part 1 is part 2. So this is part 2. I'm lining it up so that the hole is lined up, and then I continue drawing it. Then through this, if we look at our drawing, we can see that this center line shows us that this nut and washer goes all the way through this hole and this bolt as well. So this bolt is number 9. Let me find number 9 is here at the top. So I will insert the bolt. And then the washer. And lastly the nut. Then I will move to everything that fits in here. So I'm going to draw part number 4 first. Part number 4, let me just find it. Here's 4. So I will line it up. Then 3. Five. Six is the key, so the key, I'm just going to erase. There we go, the key. And next I'm going to do 7. Where 7 is the spacer down here. And next is 8. I didn't finish this one. Let me just quickly finish this one. So there's a quick example of what our drawing will look like. It's not 100% accurate, it just gives me an idea of where what will be. So now I can start by drawing this. I think our biggest part is a washer and this base plate. Let's see, this one is 110 and this one is shorter. So I'm going to make sure that I at least have 130, 140 on my left side for my front view. And then the right side, my biggest part is still number 2, so I need 120 definitely. So I would rather plan for your 120 part on your right side and then continue with the rest on the left side. So let's see, 120. I might just make sure that the wheel isn't bigger. No, the wheel is not bigger. So 120 at least, but to have a bit more is never the wrong decision. So I'm just going to make a mark that at least I have 120. So I'm going to make it 140. Now let's make it 130. And then I always like having my XY line 10 millimeters away from my construction line. Just like that. And we draw our center lines. Here's my XY line, and then I have my construction lines that I will use for all my measurements. Oh, it looks like my okay, so it looks like my center of my set T-square shifted a bit for this center line. I'm just going to make sure that that is straight, because in EGD we know everything needs to be straight. Can't have skew lines. Here is my, there we go, that's better, that one, and then my construction lines 10 millimeters away. Let me just measure this one again. Okay, so I have that, and then with a drawing like this, what I like to do is I like to start with my shaft. It's just easier to start with the shaft because everything attaches to the shaft. So I will start with the shaft, and so I will start with the center line. For that everything fits on a center line, we need at least 105 plus 20, so 125. That is the minimum we need for the bottom. Let's see how high is that up. 125. So I'm going to make it over here. So 150 up there. I will be drawing my center lines. There we go. And I'm going to start with drawing my shaft. It is an M16, so this diameter, to make sure, we can always go double check where that enters. You can see with this spacer it says that the diameter is 16, which means that this is 16. I'm going to use my center line. I'm going to measure 8 up and 8 down. we go. And to find this space, it's 0.1 times 16, so it is 1.6. It's 1.6. Then it goes in 30 and then 55. So I'm going to measure 30 and then 55. The height of this second part is 30, so 15 up, 15 down. The thickness of that is 3 millimeters. Great. Next part is 24, so 12 up, 12 down, and it is from this end, it is 15 in. So let's measure that 15 in first. From the inside edge here goes 15 in, and then it is 12 up, 12 down. We have a keyway in this shaft that is 20 long. So let me measure that 20 long first. It's 20 long. Then it says it's a 6 by 3, which means the hole is 3 millimeters. And in this there will be a key. If we remember our drawing, our little thing correctly, there's a key that goes in there, and the key is 6 tall as well. So this will be there's my key, and now I can finish this shaft. Shaft is almost done. In the shaft, it also shows us that we have something like an Allen key can fit in here. It says it is 14 across flats, which means that my circle that I will have to construct needs to have a diameter of 14. So I will set my compass to 7. And I will draw a small auxiliary view here on the side. That is not going to work, so I will use a circle stencil instead, because my compass does not like very small measurements. So I will use 14 on my circle stencil instead. There I have a very small thing, and remember across flats, it showed that my flats is above the circle. And if I bring this over, it will be in here. And that goes in, let's see, 10 millimeters. So 10 millimeters in. And because this is still a shaft, remember shaft does not get sliced, so we are only going to do a part section. Only doing a part section again. There we go, just to show that there is something going on inside the shaft. I think our shaft is pretty much complete. Yes, looks like it. So now I can start by assembling the rest of the drawing. So I'm going to start with the pulley first. And remember from our drawing, it shows that this shaft, the pulley kind of goes over my shaft. It goes into the hole. So I need to work from here backwards. So let's see. This is where the hole is going to be. I need to measure 7 backwards before I can start doing my pulley. So 7 backwards. And that is going to be the edge of my pulley, this edge. So then I'm going to measure 25 and I'm going to measure 5 and 5. So 25 over, oh no, let's find the height first, that will be easier. The height is a diameter of 100, so 50 up, 50 down. Then measure 25, five in and 5 in. Going to take it up. And to find this inside one, I need to find the middle first. So half of 25 is 12.5, and then I'm going to measure 2.5 and 2.5. There we go. Just like that. And the radius for the inside one is, let's see, this one, 84. So radius is 22. No, not 80, 48. 42, there we go, 42. So it's 84, half of it, it's 42. And we just connect that. We connect and we connect. Okay, next I'm going to start in my drawing in this hole. It has a diameter of 40, so 20 up, 20 down. I'm one that likes to measure from the middle, so I don't like calculating how long will this then be, or how much. I used the measurement that was given to me. 40 was given to me, so I used the 20. And we know that it's 7 in, so the less math I have to do, the better. And the faster I can draw, which we all know is very important in the end exam. We have the first hole. We already have the space for the keyway. We already have the keyway because the key was already added. And so we have both these lines. We want to find this extra part that goes out. It has a diameter of 34, so which will be 15, 16, 17.5 up and 17.5 down. And first of all, let's find it. So okay, let me just 17.5. Then I don't have to do the math again, and I can measure 6 out. Let's measure 6 out. And it was 17.5. 17.5 from the middle. 17.5. And there is my pulley. The next thing that will touch my pulley is the number 4, so it will be the spacer. The spacer presses against the pulley, and it has a diameter of 40, so 20 up, 20 down. And the thickness of it is 6 again. So my students always come and ask me, ma'am, how high is that? What is that distance? I tell them, I don't know. I never measured it because I didn't have to. I always work from the middle. That's why I drew my center line first, so that I have something to work off from. Feels like my page keeps moving. And we all know a moving page isn't good, because then things start getting skew. So it looks correct. Okay, next is the main drawing. The main part is the clamp. So I have the middle. The height of this one is going to be 35. 35 up. The thickness of that is 26. Yes, you can hatch as you go. Like, for example, I would like to hatch the pulley now, but I'm not hatching it now, for in case I come across an error that I made, and then I can erase. But when your time is running low, please do the hatching, because it's marks that you can get. We'll see for hatching. Let me just see. You get a mark for each thing that you hatched. For example, if you did not hatch the shaft, you will get a mark because it wasn't hatched. I found the back. It's down from the center, 105. So from the center, 105. So 105 down, and then how far does it go in? 80. So we measure 80, 80, and then it goes 20 back up. Where that bolt is entered is very 29 back in. So 29 back in. That is the center. The diameter of that hole is 20, so I'm measuring 10, 10. This rib over here is 23 out, so I need to measure 23 out. The thickness of this is 20. So this part is 20 thick. Right, so for this part it is 52, so it's 25, 26, 26 up and down. Let's just make sure I'm still on the right track. Yes, I have that. Okay. I am going to draw in the base plate. Where does this base plate actually start? So if you see here, it touches the end of this rib that I drew. So from the rib, it is 110 out. 110. The thickness of that is 4. So when you guys practice this and for the exam and everything, don't just go off of the measurements that I here shout at you, but sit with the question next to you. Look at where exactly do I actually get my measurements, so that you know where I look, how I get the measurements and everything. Don't just go off of what I say. I'm human, I make mistakes. This down is 20. It's very important to sit with the question next to you as you watch your video, instructions on how to draw and everything, so that you know where the instructor got the measurements, how did they get the answer. Then turn off the video and try it on your own. So if we are correct, this is supposed to be 35. 30? 36, not 35. Yes, this is 36 more or less. If I would bring this middle down, you will see that it's 36 more or less. Okay, we got the base plate. Next, I'm going to draw in this spacer. Not the spacer, the bush. I'm going to draw in the bush. It is 26 long and 22 diameter. So 11 up, 11 down. And where does it go? Where's my drawing? Goes into here. So from here it is 22. Sorry. So it's the total, okay, total length. So like this, it's the total length. Right. Then we have a hole that's a bit bigger there. Diameter 30, so 15 up, 15 down. And the thickness of that hole is 3. So what do I have? I already have the spacer, I already have the pulley, I have the base plate, I have the clamp, I have the key, I have the shaft, I have the bush. I need the difficult things now. So we need to draw in this gear. Next, I'm going to get the total height of this gear. It's 78, so it's 35, 6, 7, 8, 9, 39.5, no, 39, yes, 39 if I'm correct. So yes, it is 39 if I'm correct. That's the total one. Let me just make sure. Yes, the total one is 39. Okay, it has this part that stands out is 5. 5, is it 5 away? Yes. 5 away. And that is 26. So it is 13 up, 13 down. It would have gone in this hole, but now the bush is in the way, so it cannot go inside the clamp. So it only presses against because this part is blocking it from going in all the way. Alright, and then so this part goes up, down, I don't have the thickness yet. The thickness of this is 18. And then we have nothing that attaches here, because if we look, it looks like the gear is something that tightens onto the shaft, so there's nothing. Yes, there's thread inside of this, so that is the nut as well. Let's see. So we are slicing through 2 teeth. The inside of this is 62. So the teeth acts like a rib, sort of. It's something that supports something. So we are not going to slice this part as well, but we are going to slice the inner part of the gear. So 60, is that, yes, that's 62. So 13, 14, 31, sorry, math again. It's 31. So this is basically the core of the gear, and this is the teeth that goes around. So to show that this is teeth and not fully a solid part from the rest of the gear, we are not going to hatch this part, but we are going to hatch the rest. But I saw as well that there is holes. This gear has 2 holes, of a hole that goes straight through with the thread part in the middle. So we need to draw in these holes as well. Let's see, that one, outside one is 34, 15, 16, 17. And the inside one, I believe, is in line with this. Let me just make sure. Was it in line with this one? Yes, it's in line with this one we already have. Great. Then so this shows you actually how you should draw it. Here it shows that the teeth will not be hatched, but the rest will. So this isn't, there's your answer. This is what it should look like, except it's going around. So we have a top and a bottom. They just did half of it. Here we have this, we have the hole. Oh, and what the thickness? The thickness of this is 5, and this one will be 5 as well. So 5, 5. Here we go, we have our gear. All I need to add now is the bolt with the washer and the nut. Bolt. Here's the bolt. It's an M20 bolt. They want us to show 2 faces. Let's just make sure. Yes. So they want the nut to show 3 faces, but the bolt they want to show 2 faces. Great. I'm going to start off by, is the bolt a, so we have to draw 2 auxiliary views, if I understand this correctly. I'm going to start off by drawing the one auxiliary view. I can measure the other one, but the 3-phase one is the more difficult one to manage. So I will draw the auxiliary view of the 3-phase bolt. So let me just find the middle. If you can do both. Middle, let me draw a nice big center line. Okay, I have a center line. I will double check that I have all my center lines after this, because you get, how many center lines do I need? 2. 1, 2. Looks like I forgot about my other view. So I need at least 4 center lines, if I'm correct, because you get half a mark for the center line. We already have 1 mark for these 2 center lines. And then it's a M20. So M20 is 1.5 times 20. It's 30, so compass is set to 15. I'm going to draw the 3-phase one because that's the more difficult one to get the measurements. The 2-phase one is a bit easier because we can just use this to measure. I am not using the stencil because I almost think you get, I know you don't get marks for construction, but I'm not using the stencil because not all of you have the stencil, and it is extremely important for you to know how to construct a bolt. So go back to grade 10, look at how to draw a bolt again. There we go. The 2-phase one is easy. All we need is to measure this distance. So it is 15. So we just take 15. Do they give us the height of this bolt? Yes, it's 14. Otherwise you had to calculate that as well. I think this is 0.8 times 20. There we have it. This is my construction. Then from the corner, okay, there's the bolt. The rest of the bolt is, let's see, 48 high. To get the thread, it is 0.5, so it's going to be 0.1, so it's 2 millimeters in. Okay, the thread part goes for 34 millimeters, so I'm going to measure 34 back down. Usually that will end the washer or nut or something will be in the way, but in this case we will see it. Okay, the washer. Let's look. The washer is 3 millimeters high and it has a diameter of 40. So 20, 20, 3. 20, 23, and the height of our nut is 16. Oh, this is going to be a pain. It's very small. Okay, let's see. I usually have a very small compass I do this with. Not with me right now, so it's usually nice to have a small compass to do these types of very small work. But there it is at least. And I think that is our front view. So I'm quickly going to do my hatching. It's important that you use your 45 degrees and that all of the parts is in different directions or different sizes. So when you do this one in this direction and that one in that direction, it needs to be different sizes. That is very important. So I will be back as soon as my hatching is done. Okay, so my hatching is done. As you can see, nothing is the same size, and if it's the same size, it's in a different direction. Let's quickly do our right view. We already have the center line, so I'm going to take over from here what I'm going to see first. I'm definitely going to see this gear and shaft, and the gear again. So I'm just going to start there. Excuse me. My biggest part I already said was this number 2, which is my base plate, and it is 120 long. We want that to be in the center, so I'm going to measure 60 millimeters from here to get the center line that goes straight up and down. Okay, so I'm going to draw my base plate because that is very easy to draw. I'm going to take over the side, and I already know that it's 120 long. Oh, I don't have enough space. See, planning. I planned incorrectly. I shouldn't have moved it. It's because I erased it and I moved it up. So, planning important. At least I'm just a little bit off. This is just a practice, so when this is important, why it's you have to practice before the exam so you can see. But do you still need planning? Is your planning correct? Is your planning incorrect? Or whichever. This thing looks too short for me. Why does mine look so short? It's 23 out. 23 out. Haha. I used my triangle. I should not have used my triangle. See, everyone still makes mistakes. I should not have used my triangle because it is not against a specific degree, as you can see there. I should have looked at this height. It says that the height is 55, so I should have measured 55 up, and then it's 55, correct? Yes, it's 55 up. I should have measured that and then just connect it. Now that looks better. So next I'm going to quickly draw this as well, because this is on top. I'm not going to see this, I'm only going to see this one. I will draw apart this part that I'm going to see next. 24, so 12 12 12 12 Okay, now I'm going to jump to the shaft first. Now that I have my center line here and I have my center line here, my shaft is 16. So compass is set to 8. Let's see if this wants to work. I'm going to use my circle stencil again because that is too small. My head may be in the way now. So 16. Do I not have a 16? Oh, there's my 16. The inside one should match. Do I have something that matches that? Looks like it's 12 then. There we go. That is my shaft. The second one I'm going to see is this one, which is supposed to be (26), so 13. Compass set to 13. The next one is 34, 15, 16, 17. 17. Next, where is my, so I have the inside one, 1 2 3, 1 2 3. That would be the outside of the gear. The gear outside will be second. Let's see, what does it show me? So well, they say we see the full outside, and then we add the center line for the spurs as well. So I'm going to see the full outside. 78 divided by 2 is 39. 39. And then I'm going to add the center lines for the gears. It is 70, so 35. 35. Here we go, my center line. Then I will see the, now it's going to get a bit complicated because yes, we saw this, but we want this as well. So what I want to do, oh, we already have 35. Is that the 35 is the spurs. Okay, so the center, great. And I already, what we want to do is draw, it's going to go up and then touch this basically and go behind the wheel. So we want to find this up part first. This is the part that it goes up. The distance is 90, so 45, 45. 45, 45. So here it goes up. And then we want it to touch to the 35, which was the center line. So touch the circle and not go through it. Please make sure that you don't do this. Don't draw a line there, because if I continue it will go through the circle. We don't want to go through the circle, we only want to touch it. It goes behind the wheel. Other side. Only touch. And it goes in behind the wheel. Just like that. Next we are going to see this big pulley on the outside. I think that was a radius of 50. Yes, radius of 50. And that is behind this plate again. So we're not going to see the full circle. The rest of it disappears after behind this plate. And I think we have everything. Let's see. I got my center line, center line, center line. So let's count if I have all my center lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, which should give me 2 marks. Oh, I need my plane, my cutting plane. I almost lost 3 marks because I didn't notice that. So we need to add our cutting plane as well. It's on our center line. It's the same as the center line, except part of it is a bit thickened. Here we go. And we are going to make an arrow. and say 3 millimeters high. This is cutting plane A. I'm just going to erase the rest of this. There we go, we have our cutting plane. I assembled it. I drew everything. Can double check through your work, see if you can line up, see if you can match these marks. Everything you did counts half a mark. So that will be the end of this drawing. Thank you for joining and good luck with grade 12 drawings.